She might just be the biggest in sports fashion right now. But how did Kristin Juszcyk go from real estate to one of Taylor Swift's favorite designers? Kristin Juszcyk was born Kristin Arceri in February 1994. She was raised in Long Island, New York, and graduated from Massapequa High School in 2012. According to her LinkedIn profile, she attended the University of Rhode Island for 2 years and then transferred to Towson University in Maryland. That's where she met Kyle Juszczyk, a Harvard University graduate who started his pro football career with the Baltimore Ravens after being selected in the 4th round of the 2013 NFL Draft. She graduated in 2016 with a bachelor's degree in business administration and marketing. Kristin worked several other jobs before committing to her passion for fashion, including gigs for the TJX companies, Red Bull, the ad agency MGH, and Stanley Black & Decker. After graduating from Towson, Kristin Juszcyk had plans to enter real estate once she obtained her license in Maryland. But soon enough, she had to make a huge career decision. When her future husband signed a deal with the San Francisco 49ers in 2017, she moved with him to California, which meant that she also had to obtain a real estate license for her new home state. This proved to be quite the pivotal moment for Kristin. As she explained to Niners Nation in 2021, "I was really able to look myself in the mirror and be like, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to go after real estate? Do you want to take this course all over again? It's state by state, so I'd have to get my license over here." Ultimately, the career switch proved to be one of the best decisions that Kristin ever made.
The only other option is to create.
Kristin and Kyle Juszczyk took a giant leap together in their relationship as they headed out west together to San Francisco. And as it turns out, she played a big part in his decision to sign with the 49ers. He was reportedly offered more money by another team, but he ultimately couldn't pass up the chance to play for 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan. There was also the fact that his girlfriend was excited about the prospect of living and working in the Bay Area. Moving to California also meant that Kristin would be able to focus on fashion and being her own boss. As she explained to Niners Nation, "Most of the members in my family are all entrepreneurs, starting their own businesses. I've always had the support from my family and inspiration from my dad and his brothers." Kyle proposed to Kristin the same year that they made the big move. They got engaged on a beach, with Kristin sharing a photo of that special day on Instagram, along with the caption, "We're engaged. Still feels like a dream, but I couldn't possibly feel any more love than I do right now. It's a privilege to be able to love you forever." Kristin and Kyle Juszczyk got married on July 6, 2019 in upstate New York at the Cedar Lakes Estate. It was an outdoor ceremony overlooking the water. The big day featured a beautiful arch of white flowers and the bride's bouquet of cascading orchids. She wore a lace and beaded Berta wedding gown, while Kyle wore a traditional black tux. Kristin shared photos of the two of them reading their vows, along with the caption, "Kyle and I were so nervous to write our own vows, but now, as we look back, it was our favorite part of the entire weekend. We've never felt so much love, laughter, and tears in only a few minutes." In July 2020, the Juszczyks celebrated their first wedding anniversary, with Kristin sharing a photo of the two of them on Instagram in their wedding day outfits. As she explained in the caption, "Kyle and I decided to start a new tradition last night. On our wedding anniversary, we're going to put on our dress and tux, however long we can fit into it, and reflect on how much we've grown and changed from the previous year."
I just so badly want her to get the recognition that she deserved.
Before Kristin Juszczyk started making trendy gear for her celebrity friends, she launched a fashion brand called Origin in 2018. As she announced on Instagram, "It's always scary taking a leap of faith and pursuing a dream with no guidance, but waking up passionate about your job eliminates the fear of the future and gives you the motivation to push through those hurdles. I am overjoyed to announce the launch of Origin, and I can't wait to see where this journey takes me." The now defunct online boutique offered a wide array of clothing, including sweatshirts for both men and women, that cleverly read, "The juice is worth the squeeze," a nod to her husband's last name. Kyle has consistently been a huge inspiration for his wife. As she explained to Niners Nation in 2021, "There is nobody I know that loves his job every single day. That man wakes up with a smile on his face, and he comes home with a smile on his face. It makes me want to go after my dreams too." In that same interview, Kristin also revealed, "I just really hope to have my own line coming out spring, fall, and summer, and get away from having wholesale clothing and boutique clothing. That's really where I see myself going." In 2023, Kristin Juszcyk launched Designs by Kristin, a clothing line in which she takes NFL apparel and reworks them into one-of-a-kind pieces. As she explained on her website, "I rediscovered my love of sewing one Halloween when I decided to make a costume for Kyle and I. After finishing that project, I got a feeling like I've never felt before, a feeling like this is what I should have been doing my whole life. I then began reworking my game day outfits for Kyle's games. I started reworking old t-shirts, jerseys, and even footballs into fresh designs." Juszcyk never studied fashion in college, but her love of creating outfits was instilled in her from a young age. As she revealed, "I spent countless nights crocheting with my grandma while watching Wheel of Fortune. I definitely hung up my needle and thread for a few years, more like 20 years." Juszcyk began showcasing her NFL apparel back in 2021. She shared a video on Instagram that November in which she took a 49ers shirt and transformed it into a cinched long sleeve with silver chain detailing. People really began to take notice of Kristin Juszcyk's NFL designs when Taylor Swift was spotted wearing a custom Kansas City Chiefs jacket during a playoff game against the Miami Dolphins in January 2024. It featured her boyfriend Travis Kelce's jersey number and name on it. In an interview with E! News, Juszcyk called this a pinch me moment. She also designed a similar red Chiefs puffer coat for Brittany Mahomes, wife of Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
There's nothing more rewarding than spending so much time and energy into making something and then see someone that you look up to wearing it.
Juszcyk has also made custom gear for other famous folks, including Olympic gymnast Simone Biles. She took the jersey of Biles' husband, NFL safety Jonathan Owens, and made it into a puffer vest. Juszcyk has also been rocking her own looks at NFL games. During the NFC Championship in 2024, in which the 49ers defeated the Detroit Lions, she wore a custom long puffer coat that revealed the hidden message, Super Bowl bound, in the sleeves.
Everyone's been commenting and being so sweet and so supportive of me.
Kristin Juszcyk has been expertly nailing designs for men as well. One of her very first designs was for actor Taylor Lautner, who's a major Detroit Lions fan. He was in attendance when they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a January 2024 playoff game. Before the kickoff, he received a Designs by Kristin piece that featured Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson's jersey number. Juszcyk has also hooked up some of her husband's teammates, like the red puffer vest she made for wide receiver Deebo Samuel. It featured 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy's name and number on the back with MVP stitched all over it. And naturally enough, Juszcyk has also dressed her husband in some of her threads. Before the 2024 Super Bowl, he sported a leather jacket with his teammates' names, numbers, and signatures. After designing clothing for so many big names, Kristin Juszcyk's fashion became one of the hottest topics of conversation during the football season. So it was hardly a surprise when she signed a licensing deal with the NFL in January 2024, which allowed her to use official league logos on her clothes. Juszcyk's first official NFL piece was a set of Super Bowl 58 inspired puffer vests that featured the number 58. They were gifted to Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, who were named the 2023 FedEx Air and Ground Players of the Year, respectively. Non-football celebrities including Gwen Stefani, Gayle King, and Kelly Clarkson also got their hands on one of Kristin's custom Super Bowl vests. As Clarkson declared on Instagram, "Shout out to Kristin Juszcyk for this amazing vest. I've been wearing it all weekend. It's so cozy and I'm loving all your designs you've been making." Juszcyk also auctioned off a version of the vest, with proceeds going towards the National Breast Cancer Foundation in honor of her mother, who died of the disease.
My mom, I just feel like, has just made this like fate for me.
She's looking out for you.
Yeah.
If there's one person constantly rooting for Kristin Juszcyk to succeed, it's her husband Kyle Juszczyk. During a locker room interview with The Athletic reporter David Lombardi in January 2024, he shared, "She's been grinding for years now and working so hard. I'm so happy to see her get her stuff out there. Everybody sees it and people recognize that it was hers. Times I'm waking up 3 or 4 in the morning and she's not in bed, she's downstairs. She's working." And Kristin is definitely feeling the love. As she gushed to People magazine in February 2024, "He's just been incredible. I mean, I know this week, month, and year have been equally stressful for him, so he's just the best partner. I know everyone sees the little glimpses of him supporting me, but that's not even 5% of what makes him the best partner ever." Kristin and Kyle Juszcyk don't have any human children yet, but they are proud parents to 2 dogs. Mozzarella and pierogi are both Samoyeds, and they can regularly be found on Kristin's social media. They also even have their own Instagram account where they can be found dressing up for Halloween and scarfing down birthday cake. The Juszcyks adopted Mozzarella during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Since then, they brought her along to pick out a Christmas tree and on family trips. In 2023, the couple welcomed Pierogi, and it was cuteness overload when the small puppy got to meet her big sister.